Guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a watch video for you. Today we've got a pretty cool watch to check out. This is a watch from Square Watch Co. And Square Watch Co. is a micro brand that Jonathan Artis is starting. It's kind of still in the early stages, but I was able to enter a waffle where he was parting with a few of his models that were sort of not going to make his production line. And I was fortunate enough to get my hands on this. I've talked to John a fair bit about it. It's actually a really, really nice watch. And John is doing some very good work. Now, as it turns out, this watch is actually not going to be for me. It's for my wife. And part of that is just the size, not only the band size, but the case itself. The overall watch is not quite the size that I tend to prefer. So to give you a couple of examples, here it is beside my Victorinox Inox. Okay, and here it is beside my MRG. All right, and here is the watch that I have on my wrist right now. This is the Citizen Nighthawk. All right. All of these are a little bit bigger in the case itself, but also the strap is a little bit bigger as well. Now, having said that, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous watch. And my wife actually is really enamored with it. And so I wanted to go ahead and share it with you guys. I'm not going to, go into every single exhaustive point about this, but I will try to give you guys an overview because I think John is doing some really cool work, and I look forward to seeing what else comes out of Square Watch Co. Okay, as you can see, this is a dive watch with a ceramic bezel. We have, I don't know if you're able to see it well on camera, but a domed sapphire crystal, which is great. After I get through the features, I'll give you a size, weight, and all that stuff. The dial is actually shred carbon fiber, which is hard to see in this light. When you go outside and you're looking at it, you can see it really obviously. It looks fantastic. I'll also shut the lights off and see if I can give you guys a little bit of a look at the lume here. It's broad daylight, so it's going to be hard to get it really dark enough to do it justice, but hopefully you can see that as well. All right, while we're talking about this, I just will point out the sweep here is really, really nice. As I think I mentioned, if I didn't, it's an NH35 movement, which, you see that in a lot of watches, and it's not always great, but whatever John is doing, this is indexed really well. And by the way, the bezel is also indexed really well. Notice how it lands perfectly on, lands pretty well perfectly on the top, and that's a bit of a pet peeve for me. I hate when watches don't land that way. So ceramic bezel here, which looks great. Again, perfectly indexed. The sweep is pretty nice and precise. You can watch as it stops there. It's pretty well hitting every one of those indices, which is so nice to see. Again, this is something that even in, nicer watches, arguably nicer watches, gets missed a lot of times. This has obviously the day-date complication. You can see there it's Thursday the 3rd. And the band is it's more of a softer band than, let's say, it puts me in mind more of the band from my Inox. It's almost like a silicone compared to, something like your typical, I've got like a fairly budget G-Shock here. And this band is really plasticky and pretty hard, but this is actually quite soft and quite stretchy. So very, very nice. I like what he's done with that. Now, again, this watch is kind of unique in that it's a one-off. That is that, you're not gonna be able to get up. He's not doing like a production run of these. Nonetheless, I think looking at the various materials he's using is worth the effort that's involved, just because it gives you an indication of where his thought process is and the level of quality that he's going to be working to. It is a display case back, so you can take a look there and see the movement and see that it's got the automatic winding feature from being worn all the time. It is a screw down crown, so I'll just show you that. I won't click it out of place. So there's popped out. I'm not going to pull on it because I don't want to have to go messing around and resetting everything, but just to demonstrate the functionality there of the screw down crown. And now it's caught. The spring is pretty stiff there, but it's not too bad. The guards, the crown guards here make it a little hard for my kind of fat fingers to get in there. And so I actually did have a bit of a tough time getting it to the date. Of course, when you pull it out, you know, I'm over pulling it and it ends up wanting to go straight to time. And I had a hard time getting that second click, you know, in the middle there where it needs to be to adjust the date. So that's my quick like 5-minute overview. Now let's take a look at the size. And that's really the only thing that I don't really like about this watch. It's a very handsome watch, really cool, really comfortable, just a little too small for me. And so I'll give you a quick look. We have basically 40 millimeters there, like so close, it might be 39. But very, very close to 40 millimeters. It's going to stand, what would that be? Like maybe 12 millimeters. It's hard. So looking through the lens, it looks to you guys like it's probably a little bit thinner. I'm going to say it's probably, considering the dome, around 12 millimeters, which is not too bad at all. Finally, let me grab you a weight before we wrap it up. Okay. Okay, of course I run into the camera. There we go. So the weight on this is 3.4 ounces, which is a little hefty. Just to give you an example, this G-Shock is 2.4. You know, this one's going to be heavier, 4.9. I'm trying to, what else have I got here that you might be familiar with? How about this little Casio date, what do you call this one? The data bank. There we go. Going to be very lightweight on the data bank. So that just gives you, in case you haven't got a lot of watches, you don't have a good sense for how that weight's going to feel. It is a moderately heavy watch, but not crazy heavy. Again, overall, I think John has done a great job on this, and my wife is actually loving it. She's been wearing it every day since it came, and I look forward to seeing what else John comes up with. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.